Though we aren't quite there yet, the world is shifting away from the chaos phase of the pandemic and inching closer to recovery. Post-COVID exuberance, increased eco-friendliness, and unexpected generational shifts. The top 20 trends of 2022 show we're moving into an exciting time of change. At number 20 is NFT Art. NFT is a term you've probably heard a lot of this past year. It stands for non-fungible tokens, which Wikipedia explains as units of data stored on digital ledgers, called a blockchain, to certify digital assets. In this case, those assets are art. If a creative offers their art as an NFT, they create a kind of virtual exclusivity around the piece, with one example being Kings of Leon's recently released album, which was the first ever to be made into an NFT. At number 19, in-game inclusion is showing the way forward for the world of gaming. In what's traditionally been a non-inclusive industry, inclusion is becoming a focus with everything from accessible game features to anti-racist storylines, responding to the growing calls for the industry to cater to everyone. 18 on our list is summer cannabis, where the medicinal and recreational plant is being used in products associated with your stereotypical summer. Think barbecues and beaches. Everything from THC-infused canned cocktails to cannabis freezies offer alternatives to virgin or alcohol-based summery treats. At number 17, car-free retail shows how businesses, urban planning, and architecture can come together to create more eco-friendly cities. Pedestrian and cyclist-only neighborhoods and retail developments show an exciting, more sustainable way forward for design and urban planning. And number 16 is generation dating. As dating turned almost entirely digital over the last year, the use of apps that connect users romantically went up. Where before these apps mostly targeted millennials, they're now accommodating the digital habits of older Gen Z to bring them into the fold. Everything from TikTok-style videos to meme sharing are being used in new dating app formats to connect to the Zoomer. Carbon offset comes in at 15, with brands in the food and beverage industry looking to reduce the impact on the environment with carbon-neutral and offsetting production processes. As the competition for eco-friendly products becomes more intense, brands are having to make authentic changes in order to draw in and excite customers. At number 14 is Activism Pop-Up, which takes the exclusivity associated with pop-ups and links it to activism in order to build a sense of community and togetherness as well as understanding. Sharing these common spaces helps social, political, and environmental causes build momentum. Coming in at 13 is Accessible Care, where healthcare platforms are being designed around marginalized communities that are often underserved when it comes to their health. Everything from cost accessibility to the inclusion of trans people is now being prioritized by these more accessible healthcare platforms. At number 12 is P2P Community, where we're seeing a growing number of platforms that offer activism and community support for issues like mental health. These have become especially popular and necessary in the past year as in-person support diminished for people all over the world under pandemic restrictions. Examples include addiction recovery support apps and online BIPOC wellness communities. At number 11, we have Low Alcohol Bar, which is a new take on how younger millennials and older Gen Z enjoy socializing. These age groups have missed social connection as much as anyone else in the last year, and so the idea of partying looks quite different. In this post-COVID world, restaurants and bars will offer low-alcohol menus that target young people who are more interested in connecting with friends than excessive drinking. At number 10 is International Keto, where North American brands that offer ketogenic diet-friendly foods are taking cues from global flavors, particularly Asian ones. Offerings like keto-friendly vegan ghee and kimchi snacks come in response to consumers demanding more diversity in the diets they subscribe to. At number 9 is Farm to Phone, merging traditional industry with modern customer habits by connecting consumers with fresh produce from local farmers via digital means. This convergence has been especially useful as COVID-19 restrictions were limiting in-store or market interactions between small business owners and their customers. However, post-COVID, this will continue. At number 8 is Nature Novice, another trend that's popped up as a result of the pandemic. With many forms of travel and tourism not currently an option, outdoor adventure tourism has seen a surge in popularity. Brands are accommodating those who are new to this form of travel with slow-paced cycling trips, hiking routes, ways to ease you into the fun of reconnecting with nature. Another travel-related shift can be seen in our 7th trend, hyper-convenient camping. As travel restrictions ease up, people are itching to get outside and feel the freedom they've been missing in the last year. Things like camping and adventure-based tourism are surging in popularity and being made more accessible for beginners, as traveling and being in nature becomes a priority for everyone. Sanitization Health comes in at number 6, where the popularity of the skincare industry merges with this past year's focus on personal hygiene and produces hand sanitizers as a part of consumer skincare routines. Brands are responding to this with sanitizing products that mimic the sophisticated formula or beautiful packaging typically seen in the skincare space. At number 5 is Health Hub, an extension of Smart Home that prioritizes the personal health of users. Everything from sleep to medication tracking is now being managed by connected hubs with products like Amazon's Alexa offering audio reminders. And a different type of health focus can be seen in our 4th trend, tech fatigue. Changes to both social and professional lifestyles over the past year have necessitated a complete transition to digital. But tech fatigue has become a consequence of this shift. Some are battling this form of burnout with everything from social media blocking to more inclusive virtual spaces that allow for different kinds of engagement. At number 3 is Boomer Tech, where digital habits that have typically been common among younger demographics have seen a boost among older demographics. Everything from virtual fitness to social apps like Snapchat are seeing a huge increase in membership from baby boomers and older generations. Coming in at number 2 is Millennial Move, which addresses the lifestyle transitions that many millennials have faced amid the pandemic. High living costs in cities, a lessened need to commute, job losses, growing families, and generally reevaluating life goals have all contributed to millennials moving away from the fast-paced urban lifestyle. What we're seeing are brands, organizations, etc. helping to facilitate this shift with everything from remote work stays to adaptable modular homes. And last but not least is Gen Z Creative. This is a trend that's been in development over the past year in particular, but will continue to dominate creative, entertainment, and pop cultural spaces. What it is Gen Z looking to develop skills outside of the traditional school system and instead using them to their benefit. Building a sense of creativity, seeking a sense of fulfillment, and yes, maybe monetizing these skills to secure their futures. This generation is leading the way as the Roaring 20s finally commence. Thanks for watching our Top 20 Trends of 2022. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want to see more, check out trendhunter.com/pro.